Hey, what is going on, guys? I am Tony Taylor, and as you guys know, I just started a show where I not interview, but have a conversation with people that I am inspired by. And this lady today, I saw a post on LinkedIn, and I'm not going to give it away. I'll let her describe it. But I was so inspired by this lady, man. I just had to have a conversation with her. Go ahead and describe the cards, because I'm not going to do it any justice. It was your video that I saw explaining what these cards were. So do me a favor, maybe give us your name and also the cards that you have, a little bit of background on yourself, and I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, yes, absolutely. So my name is Charisse Fontes, and the post that you're referring to is a post of me reaching out to job seekers, specifically people that have been laid off over the last few months due to COVID, due to a lot of the changes. And I'm a huge believer of your words have power, and I'm a believer of affirmations. I say them daily. I do them in meditation, in my devotion. And I said, hey, what if I could take some of the devastating parts of job seeking and just empower somebody with an affirmation? And so I was like, okay, affirmation, job seeker, job formation. So I created job formations, and some of these aren't my all original designs, but they're affirmations that I get from all different places. And I put them together in these cards, and they're super colorful.
Ooh.
I
Yeah,
love
they are.
color.
I love it.
And for example, this one says, I'm working in a healthy workplace culture. And it's just like saying those words while you're job seeking. I mean, I can tell you from just my background is a bit of good, a bit of weird, and a bit of like what the heck is going on. And I remember when I was laid off, when I was a job seeker, it was just really challenging. And powerful words are powerful. There's life or death in the tongue. And so I work a lot with, so my background really comes from being in people operations. So I am the entryway, the keeper of the people, the mother of the humans in the workplace. And
The
so
most important job in the whole facility, right?
it is. It's the most important and the most exciting. And I've dealt with so many different things, and I've organically grown into a people and culture thought leader. And so I talk about anything related to people and culture. I'm a self-taught anthropologist, so I study cultures, religions, and tribes, and I bring that element into what I currently do now, which is I help companies create healthy and inclusive workplace cultures.
Ooh.
So I do that, and I'm also an active birth doula, so I help women birth their babies. So I use a lot of this component of humanity inside and outside of the workplace. And so these job formation cards was really birthed out of just hearing all of the stories, understanding how it is to be laid off, and also being shoulder to shoulder with the people in the workplace and knowing what they go through. Even though somebody might show up smiling, they're dealing with a lot of stuff at home. We're stitched together one seam at a time. And I think with the combination of some people being isolated and then also being laid off, and just the uncertainty of what's happening, and then still being like, I need to be productive. It's just like any kind of motivation, any kind of upliftingness that can happen is really helpful. So that's where these job formations come in, and I'm giving them away for free. I also have a book, I don't have it with me, that I've been giving out as well, called 60 Seconds and You're Hired. It was really helpful for me when I was job seeking. And so
Wait. You're giving all of this stuff away?
Yeah, I mean, I look at it this way. If I don't know how to describe the feeling of like hopelessness, but I can hear it when people are talking on the phone. I can see it on a Zoom when people are crying. Like, I know what that feels like. And I also know what it feels like when someone offers you hope. and it just changes your perspective. And I figured that the people that need it, need it. And I don't want to charge for any of these things. I want to just gift them. And then the people that don't need it will just, you know, I don't know, but this is just how I'm going to operate. I don't have any other agenda other than like, I want to help. And I don't have a lot of ties anymore to companies. Like, you know, I'm working with clients, but not a lot of them are, you know, in super hiring mode. I'm not a recruiter, so I don't have a lot of those ties to helping people get jobs, but I do have ties into helping keep people encouraged. And
which is more important, I think, especially with, you know, everybody or a lot of people losing their jobs. That is, oh my God, that is, my eyes are getting watery. That is amazing. You never hear about anyone giving away anything without some kind of angle, right? Without some kind of angle of getting paid, but you're giving back for the sake of giving back. And I've been in those moments to where, you know, I'm looking at LinkedIn, I'm looking at Indeed. I've applied for freaking 2,000 jobs after getting out of the military. And I would just keep telling myself, you know, keep going, keep going,
yeah.
keep going. But it's different. And actually having something tangible to where you're reading them off and you're saying them to yourself. I believe in affirmations. And that's why, you know, when I saw your video, I thought about, you know, how it works in my family. What we do is if there's a person's birthday, what we'll do is instead of like sitting around and just eating cake and getting fat, we do that too, right? Yeah. But what we'll do is we'll go around the table and we'll say all the things that we love about that person, right? So it's all 100% positive. Yeah. And when we started doing that, oh my God, it's like our kids, they look forward to that more than they do the actual gifts, right? And so that is the gift. And we all, you know, from my son all the way down to the youngest one, even myself, my wife, we all walk away from that conversation like red in tears because of, you know, the affirmations that, you know, that we've gave to one another. So, oh my God, like this is huge.
Yeah,
this is huge.
I think that one of the things that I wrote something, I can't remember if I posted it or if I just wrote it in just processing, but I applied, this was around the time, so this is probably for a whole nother conversation, but I quit my job in February and then I started to look for something else.
I think I read that you're a VP someplace, right?
Yes, yeah.
Awesome.
I left
Sorry
that
for cutting
job.
you off. Yeah.
No, it's all good. And then I remember getting a rejection email and I remember how it felt. And I was just like so sad. Like I cried. I read it and I cried and I was like, I'm being rejected. And I was like, no, I'm being redirected. And I was like, okay. So I sat with it. I felt it. But had it not been, so what I probably will do though is I'm going to show my office. It's such a Zen office. I'm going to do a video of this and show it. But around my office, literally, there's my vision board and meditation area over here. Right in front of me are positive words. On the side of me are also positive words. And then I'm just surrounded by plants and just really good energy. And so
good life.
What I think happened was I needed to feel that, but I also had a place to go. And what I noticed is when you're working at a job, it is your life. People are like immersed in their work and they forget about them. And what happens when you're laid off is all of a sudden you're left without the thing that you've been working for and realize you have left yourself on the table somewhere and you don't know where it is. And for me, I was very meticulous in how I kept up my self-care and being a mother and all of those things. And so I was able to sort of bounce back a lot quicker, but not a lot of people have that. Not a lot of people have that grounding, that place. And these affirmations are telling you, you will, like this will happen. Your vibration will create that manifestation. And so I just want to introduce that. And it aligns with just my message of humanity. And I think that's another reason why You're like, why for free? I will always 100% of the time invest in the human. We are so capable of amazing, ridiculous things. And I will always invest in the human. And I know that for me, if, I've been homeless, I've been down, I've been all different places. And someone looked at me and said, how can I help you with nothing in return? And this is my opportunity to do that for whoever. And so, this is just my way of just saying, like, my heart is with you. I am still your people person. Like, there's somebody in your corner, and if it can give you a glimpse of light, like, that's what I'm here to do. Light, love, and gratitude, full, like, all the way. So
Oh my God, yeah. That is so remarkable and so amazing. Something you said that resonated with me. You said that you were homeless. I've been there. I've been there, and it was probably one of the lowest points of my life. I mean, my family didn't even know at one point in time that I was sleeping in my car outside of homeless shelters. And those are the moments where you need encouragement, and just knowing that you don't have a job, or knowing that your job is going to end. For me, I was getting ready to get out of the military and going through a divorce at the same time. And those positive affirmations, or having somebody, to tell me, you know what, you can make it through this, and you got this, you're amazing, right? I mean, just give me one, maybe 5 things that are on those cards. I would love to feel what that feels like, as far as, hearing it comes off the card.
Yes. Okay. So I am attracting my dream job.
Ooh.
The perfect career is out there waiting for me. I am manifesting a positive work environment. Every application I send is a potential yes.
Ooh.
There are many amazing companies that want to hire me.
I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm so inspired right now. Hey, I might, when we get done talking, I might go and apply for some jobs myself, because, I feel inspired by you. What about the t-shirt? I love that. I mean, it's 2 simple words. I love it. What about what's going on with the t-shirt?
Oh man. So when, COVID happened, that was a whole culture shift. And then the events was George Floyd happened, which was another culture shift. And that was when I started to get a lot of calls from a lot of different people and have a wide range of conversations. And some of the conversations were almost too simple to have. What is racism? And explaining that. And then how do you make sure that your company is not racist? And like all of these different,
I love it.
All these questions. And I was just like, okay, I have a lot of answers because I understand culture and I understand, the ecosystem of what's happening. And so I started answering a lot of questions. And then one CEO was telling me, my daughter is calling me a racist. And I'm like, first of all, language, that is a really heavy word to give to someone if you don't really understand what that word means and everything it entails. And so I started to think about it, and I'm like, okay, how do you become a racist? And I woke up one morning and I'm just like pondering this question. I'm like, how do you become a racist? Like, I've experienced racism. I've seen, I know what it looks like, but how do you get there? And so I woke up one morning, and this is going to sound really silly, but this is what I did. I woke up one morning, I was like, okay, Charisse, today you're going to be racist. Go. Where do you start?
Ooh, okay.
And I'm like, I don't even know where to start. So I started asking the question to everyone, how do you become a racist? And very one-liner, 3 words, your family, people around you, you're influenced, you're taught, things like that. And I was like, okay, none of these answers help me, because none of these answers give me the solution. So I was like, okay, I'm going to find out how you become a racist. And so what I did was I created a workshop called How to Become a Racist. And I put it out there and I said, anybody wants to join? I said, it's not what you think, but it will make you think. And I did it in a 3-part series. And I talked about the history of racism. I talked about isms and different definitions and stereotypes and biases. And then what I did was I gave an expanded view of birth to racism.
Wow.
And I also talked about the vibration of racism. High vibration, low vibration. When you are racist, you are in a low vibrational state. So my mind is how you fix racism is you go into a high vibrational state, use your high vibration humanity. So the people on the workshop were like blown away. They were like, how do we tell everybody this? This is like amazing, you know, and I'm like, I'm not sure yet. Like I was going on this journey with you guys. And
right.
So, I got done with that.
Isn't that crazy when you start going? It's almost like most documentaries. You start going on a journey and you end up someplace else, yes. Right? And then you're just yes. like, and everybody's like, "How did you get here?" You're like, "I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going." Right?
Yeah, I'm just like, "Oh my gosh!" But I knew that not only did I discover something really amazing in the workshop, but I was saying something that was very different than what everybody was hearing out in the news, the media, social, things like that. And what I was saying wasn't to wash away what was happening, but what I was saying was bringing healing through education and understanding,
yes.
through unity. It was very interesting. And so then I was like, okay, another thought came in and I was like, okay, there's Black power, there's white power. But it all comes down, it's not a black and white issue, what we're dealing with, it's a humanity issue. How about humanity power? What if we utilize our humanity to solve what these isms have stemmed and plagued our humanity? And so I was like, what about humanity power? And so I started to play with it a little bit. And then my husband actually was like, discovered something. He was like, well, there's unity in humanity. I was like, done. I was like, I'm going with it. I'm going to use that. Because what I'm finding is we can talk about all of these issues that are going on, but we need a foundation. We need to use our humanity and we need to show people what that looks like. So very similar to the workshop, I was able to look at the positive attributes of our humanity and then our negative attributes of our humanity. And then, you know, it's like positive are kindness, love, truth, honesty. Negative are apathy, anger, bias, like things like that are just negative sides of our humanity. And so I decided to use humanity power as a way to create a vision statement, a baseline to start the conversations, because some people are over here with their conversation, some people are over there. And if we're to take this change that we want to see to the next level, we all need to be on that same train together. We all need to be on that journey together. And when the CEO was like, I didn't know what racism was until you explained it. That's a problem. That means we have to keep going back and back and back. And so I believe that if we can use our humanity and all the topics that we bring to the table to address the isms that plague our humanity. So we have racism, ageism, sexism, classism, ableism, like all of these things that are just like all stemmed from disempowering people.
Right.
And if we can take that and shift our high vibration humanity and use our humanity power, we can solve this. We can end this. We can say, okay, I might not agree with what you're saying, but I'm going to use my humanity power to come to some type of unity with you. And because if the messages are divided, that's where the confusion happens. And that's where people tend to shut down. And with everything that's happening, again, we have the culture of COVID, right? People are dealing with a lot of different things. Some are isolated, some are taking care of their families, some are dealing with death. Like there's a lot happening. And so I think if we can use humanity power as a foundation for these conversations, we will capture a lot more hearts, because it's not a hard problem, it's a heart problem, right? And so if we can capture the heart and take people on this journey and just treat people, as the one race that we are. You know, race was created, black, white was created. We were all, before it was there, we were all human and, you know, on paper. And then we started to divide ourselves. And I think if we can get back to our humanity, we can start to solve these bigger issues. So I've started Humanitypower. Yeah.
I love it. How do we get there? That's a question, because, and the reason that I asked that question is because, you know, you have a bunch of people speaking out about it, and then you have other people that are saying we don't have a problem, right? So
Yeah.
how do we get there? Because it seems like even just bringing it up, it's almost like the people that are bringing it up they're being like labeled as being divisive when they're saying, because I have a phrase that I like to say, when somebody tells you that they're hurting,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
So how do we start? Like, how do we get there?
So I shared Humanitypower with a very close friend of mine. He's an ex-ball player, and he's big in the football world and in the tech world, and pretty connected. And I was like, what do you think about this message? And he gave me his thoughts on it. And then he said, how are you gonna do it? Like, what are the tacticals? Like, how are we gonna get there? And I looked at him, I said, I don't have all the answers. I got the vision. Okay, I don't have all the answers. I don't know. But
Right.
but that was probably a week or so ago. I talked to him, and now what I've decided to do with Humanitypower is a couple things. Well, a few things. Education around the words that we use. So powerful. Most people in America use the word karma wrong. And so I'm using an example here, but most people use like karma, like you're driving and then someone cuts you off, and then that person that cut you off got pulled over, and you're like, karma. And it's like, well, actually, karma is a Hindu belief in, reincarnation, has nothing to do with this life. So
Right.
the fact that happened has literally nothing to do with karma. It has very much more to do with like ego showing up on the road or whatever, right? Like that whole situation. But we use the word wrong. Another word that, so I think like it's more about just educating on the words that we use. We're just starting there and just bringing that to light and just making people aware of their language. I believe, and again, kind of goes back to the affirmations, the words that you use are so powerful. And so just kind of looking at that, and I like to just educate and break those words down, talk about the isms openly. I did a under 60 seconds racism explained and solved. I'd like to do that with, other isms. And then then I want to talk about community and look at building community. There's something that I do here in my area called Third Thursdays. And every Thursday, well, it started by me going to Costco, buying a bunch of their pre-made chickens and different things, and then opening up to the community, whoever wanted a warm meal delivered. And so anyone could sign up. I do it on Nextdoor. Anyone could sign up, and I would just deliver food to them on the third Thursday. And I chose that week because that was the week that I got paid, and I had a little extra money, and so I'd be able to do that for people. And so just that bit of community enrichment really helps. So I want to take Humanitypower into the communities and really start helping people, because I remember the story about this missionary that went to this tribe in Africa, and he was teaching them about God, and he's preaching to them. He's like, Jesus loves you, God loves you. And a guy stands up, he says, yeah, we have no water. Don't tell us about this God that loves us and we don't have any water. And the guy looked around, he's like, you're right. So he stopped preaching and he went out there and built wells. And the thing is, we're telling people these things, but they don't have water. They don't even have their basics. How are they going to be able to retain? And, you can't give what you don't have. And so I think in composition of just educating, being able to, enrich the community. And then I have this little side thing with Humanitypower, because I have kids, and so I can't leave them out. So I've created Humanity the Manatee. So Humanity the Manatee teaches kids about humanity. And it's in illustration form, and it's in very elementary ways of like teaching kids how to be the best parts of their humanity. So I take that again with the educational piece. And the third one is just empowering our unity. So being able to empower our unity through humanity, just calling that out, finding out ways to and just empower us together. And I don't know all of the tactical ways it's going to get done, but I do know that this is a good baseline to start at because, you know, it's like, okay, we're human. You have a high vibration humanity, you have a low vibration. Which one are you using right now? You can literally tell from a post which one is high vibrational, which one is low vibrational. So it's very easy to see, but then it's now just educating on, you know, making sure that people are aware of which vibration that they're using if they are looking to create positive, sustainable change.
Right. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm learning a lot from you. And I think that, uh, you know, not just your community, but I think everybody could stand to hear your message. I mean, I do consultant work as well, and your message, whatever you got out there, as far as like in the package or not package, next time that I go and I realize that there is a work culture deficiency, I'm calling you. I am calling you because I mean it's a real issue. It is a real issue, and I think that you are taking the steps that we need, not just in your area, not just not just like on the micro level, but on the macro level. Like you're making these changes, and we just, I hit you up because I wanted to talk about the cards, but it's so much deeper. And I knew that it was going to be deeper than just those cards. Oh my God. I am so glad that you took the time to talk to me. This is phenomenal. I think that a lot of people are going to learn a lot from your message. And I encourage people to reach out to you to hear more of what you got. Real quick, is there anything else that you would love for my audience and your audience to know about you, or anything that you have to offer, give, social media? Pretty much I'll let you have it the last 4 minutes or 4 seconds, whichever you want.
Thank you. Humanity is what's going to solve these problems that we're facing. And I don't have all of the answers, but I have a heart to serve. I love humans. I work with them in birth. I work with them in death. And I know what we're capable of doing. And I just encourage you to, find a way to silence any noise and just think about, how your humanity, whether it's high vibration or low vibration, contributes to what's going on around. And if you're excited about the change, then definitely support Humanitypower. I have shirts that I'm selling, and I would love to just give that message out by wearing a shirt and just sharing, like, someone asks you, what's Humanitypower? And you're just like, oh my goodness, it's the unity within our humanity. And so you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram. And I'm just getting started and learning more about it. But I definitely have preached humanity in the workplace since, almost a decade now. And so I'm just really excited to really amplify that message and just help us bring healing to our humanity. And so thank you for listening to me. And I really appreciate this opportunity. I'm very, very grateful and full gratitude.
Oh, you're so amazing. Let's keep in touch. I'll make sure that you have my information. And if there's anything that I can do to help, please don't be afraid to ask. I really enjoyed listening to you. That's why I brought you on, so that my listeners, or the people that I'm connected with, I know they get tired of hearing me talk about the stuff that I talk about. That's why I wanted you to come and just basically, let us know what you know. And oh my God, I'm so blessed to be able to have this conversation with you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.